Minnesota is Rust, back here with Rusty Deals. And we've got some little two-seater sports cars. What in the world are those? Sunbeam ALPINE project. A Sunbeam is British, was made through 50s through the 70s, got bought out by, I think, Volvo, I remember reading somewhere. Sunbeam is a great name for a happy car company. That's a great name for a company. $1,200 for a project. As you saw the two pictures, there are two different vehicles there. They both look early 60s. I'm not an expert, but that's kind of the vibe I get. Person does not know years or models. They have two cars, no engines, no titles, lots of parts they can upload. $1,200 for both of and everything. So both vehicles, $1,200, and all the parts that are there. Part of me is thinking that that's worth the money just looking at the part value there, if there are things that are still in one piece. So if we dig in here a little bit and take a look at the first vehicle, you can see hood looks nice, but definitely some kind of damage or rust up below the grill opening there. That front bumper looks rough. Must be some inserts there around the headlights. Definitely got some rust, pretty common. Big round headlights up on top of the fenders. Junk sticks up in there. Looking at the back of this red one, you can see some body work was done not only on the tail pan, but on the trunk and on the roof. So somebody was working on it or trying to put it back together there. Hopefully the parts are there. You can see the interior is kind of packed full of goodies. So maybe everything is there that you need. There is this one has a hardtop in place. Here's the the driver's side. You can see the front wheel cover on the front. It's got a spinner in the center. I don't know if that's factory or not. Looking at the rockers, looks rough. Quarter panels look rough. Bottom of the front fenders look rough. If you're a sheet metal person, maybe this is worth trying to get back together. Then again, with no title, it gets tough there too. Here we've got the passenger side. Same as the other. Somebody was doing some body work, but the rockers are gone. Bottom of the doors are gone. Quarter panels, front fenders, all that is a mess. Here's the other one, the green one. You can see that one's looks a little bit better. The headlights are there, bumpers there. You can see the emblems on the hood. And there it says Sunbeam across the front, right above the grill. Looks a little bit nicer around those headlights there. So maybe that's got more of a solid part there. It had license plates, got tail lights, rear bumpers there. Again, this interior, as you can kind of see from this back view, is pretty packed, pretty full of parts, tires hanging out of there. So maybe there's enough parts there, plenty of parts there to put this all back together, or do the two make one. You can see the clips there where the hardtop kind of snaps on. Interior, the gauges, dash looks like it's in one piece. Steering wheel looks like it's there. I can see the front wheels look like it's a real wire wheel there. So maybe that's original, hopefully. Oh, yep, there's your top. Looks like the back window is gone, but maybe they got one somewhere. I doubt you're going to find a back window for early 60s Sunbeam ALPINE, but you could probably try. I mean, somebody can make one for you, but you just open up the checkbook and then have a good cry. So there is, you can kind of see the body lines a little bit clearer here. They're like, British sports car. So I'm thinking of muscle cars. You got your COBRA, right? And there were some of these that had Ford V8s in them. We'll get to that in a little bit. But here is just that idea is, are these two cars together? And the parts that come with it, is it worth $1,200? If you're a Sunbeam ALPINE enthusiast, I would say that absolutely is an easy answer there. If not, then what else would you do? Would you try to put them together, get one back on the road? I don't know. Let's check out some other examples on Marketplace. I was kind of surprised that, sure enough, there were other Sunbeam ALPINEs on Marketplace. This one here, what does it say? 65 for $4,500. This one looks to be more or less in one piece. You can see that front bumper was not attached, but it is included there. Getting a chance to look at the back, looks like everything is intact. Everything is in one piece. Bumpers there, taillights are there, trunk is in place. You don't see any visible signs of bodywork. Doesn't mean it hasn't been done, or maybe that body's still original. Looks like the paint's kind of faded, so if there was work done, it was a long time ago. Here we go, description, original British racing paint, green paint, 100% rust-free Southern car, new exhaust, original 1725 engine, so that'd be CCs, little four cylinders, dual carbs, turns over but never had it run. So this person kind of bought it and was looking at getting it together maybe. It comes with a DMV notarized bill of sale, not a title. And I can also see in the note there they had a complete 289, so maybe they're looking at doing that swap. So here's the interior. Seats look nice. Floor looks like it's there. As they said, it was a Southern car. So a Sunbeam Alpine was the 4-cylinder version. It became the Tiger when it had the V8, the Ford V8 in there. So there's your dual carb of your 4-cylinder there. The Tiger was actually Ken Miles helped work and create it, and so did Carroll Shelby. So you get kind of that. COBRA came out in '62. This came out at about the same time, and it was definitely way cheaper than what a COBRA costs. Another example here, another Alpine. You can see this says Alpine/Tiger. So this makes me think that somebody is doing maybe they're working on a V8 swap. It looks like I can see light under the front tires there, looking above that tire. So there probably isn't an engine there. Let's get to the next picture to confirm with that. This one looks solid. This one looks nice. Nice top, nice paint. All the chrome is there. And sure enough, they're midway through a V8 conversion. So this is a 67 model. So the Alpine was just your little roadster, I don't even know if it made 100 horse, but they were nice cruisers. And you put a V8 in there, and all of a sudden you double your horsepower. There you go. You can see the firewall, that panel, it kind of comes off like a doghouse, like a full-size van, and I see nothing in there. So they're in the process of putting a V8 in there. And there, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So there is your title, certificate of title. So that helps answer that question. Depending on what state you live in, it's a bigger deal than others. Having a title is always nice. And there you go. There's under the hood. I see no 4-cylinder and no V8, but it looks like somebody is working on that. I don't know how easy or hard it is to source mounts and a bigger radiator and all those things. I know the engines were pretty tight in there. So there is your small block Ford. I think they said 289. So you've got your finned valve covers. And what was always interesting with the Tigers was the air cleaners sat sideways on them. So that oval air cleaner sat sideways because it was so close to the firewall, if I remember those pictures. So $10,000 for a project. Not running and not driving, paying 10 grand for a car is something I don't think I would do. But if you've got an idea to get this on the road, I see this person's got other projects in their shop, so they want to move this and work on the other stuff they got. Came across this marketplace. Somebody has a bunch of Sunbeam Tiger parts. So, like, what's Tiger specific might be hard to tell. If you know, though. But an Alpine, like I said, was essentially the same thing. The Tiger just had the V8 conversion done to it. I don't remember if they put a different rear end in it or not. Might have had still that rear end. Then again, they didn't weigh much. So as long as you don't put drag slicks on it, you're probably not going to blow a rear end on it by putting a V8 in front. So this person says they're into Tigers for many years. They have a lot of parts, but they'd like to sell everything as once. If you want to cherry pick, then they're going to charge you the going rate. Sounds like a threat. They have a hardtop, very little rust, a 260 top loader, 5-bolt bell housing, new windshield, heater core, 4-barrel intake. So we know that's not an original Tiger because they're always with 2 barrels. I remember reading that, always with 2 barrels. Headlight door, clutch mounts, original Tiger console, manifold or iron motor mounts, exhaust manifolds. So they're saying they got, I don't know, that's a lot of money for parts. Then again, if NOS stuff is silly money because you can only find that original stuff once. It's sitting on a shelf, it's sitting on a collector's cabinet, whatever. To the left there is a picture of the console. In the center I see wheel covers, I see rad hoses. In the box there must have been the one hardtop he was talking about, which is kind of neat there. There's your intake. Like I said, all of these are only 2 barrels. For whatever reason, they never put a 4-barrel. It was a 260 in the early ones and 289s in the later ones. That looks pretty rusty too. So that was stored not in the climate controlled. Right there, if you don't want to lowball me, don't waste my time. I've had these parts for a year. I don't care if they sit. To me, when I see an ad like that, that's kind of the I know what I got kind of guy. They are not really want to sell anything. I mean, maybe more happy to argue with somebody. Kind of like at the swap meet. I just keep on moving. But Auto Trader. So what does Auto Trader have for some of these Alpines? And here we go. On the far right is kind of your standard Alpine restored, 23,000. In the middle there's your Tiger. So you see how quickly the price jumps up, 58, 59 grand with the V8 Ford motor. And then the one we're scrolling over to now, so this apparently was a Tiger, but somebody kind of modified it. I see different wheels. It says a 260 stroked out. So now you're up to almost 100 grand for a Sunbeam Tiger that's been modified. So if you like the modifications, great. If not, here on the far right, 67 for 97 grand. In the middle, just a 4-cylinder Alpine for 19 grand. And then the green one we're sliding over to right now looks a little bit more project-y still, maybe. I don't know. Nope. For 22 grand, that better be a nice driver too. So it gives you an idea of what these are going for. If you get one running put together, the Alpines look to be 15 or 20 for nice examples, and the Tigers are way more than that. eBay, never know what you're going to find in eBay Motors. Here's a 62, looks pretty rough, but $1,000. It says very rust project car. I assume they mean rusty. Original drivetrain, not locked up. So this would be your 4-cylinder, dual carb, all that stuff, the 1900 cc's, whatever it was. Maybe there's parts there enough that you could part out. Doesn't say anything about title, so it probably doesn't have one, but it's on somebody's trailer, ready to go. As we keep scrolling through, we've got some shops, classic car companies that are selling the 67 for 20,000, a 62 for 16,000. And the one on top is 6,600 miles, maybe after it's restored. One on the bottom probably looks like an original, never been messed with more money there. I don't know, more than I don't want to spend, but if you like them, you like them. Hemmings, what does Hemmings have for sale? These fine examples. Here you go, 67, 3,900. So this one looks to be all original, looks like to be untouched. You can see it's got a little bit of rust here and there, but I see all the parts there, grill, bumpers, headlights, wheel covers. The top is there. I see emblems on the back, door handles. So a good place to start. Yep, so original car needing restoration, just out of storage, not currently running, from project. A bargain classic, not to be overlooked, so 3,400. If you can do a lot of the work yourself and, buy it for 34, put some time into it, sell it for 20 grand, that's not too bad. And again, hours are hours, right? Getting a look at the, I don't know. I'm thinking about this one. It's got rust. So 4 grand. The example we looked at was 2 of them for 1,200. I don't know. The little bumperettes are kind of neat. I didn't notice those before. It is all in one piece. There's your interior. There's your console. Looks like all your gauges, all your dash. Is that a speaker hanging over where the glove box should be? Could be. Looks like the dash pad is tore up, but they all would be. Steering wheel looks to be intact. Seats are there. So that could be a good place to start. There's your engine. There's your dual carbs. I can see, looks like everything is there. Radiator, fan, alternator, valve cover, all your hoses, all your wires. Looks to be in place. The hood looks good, at least what we can see. Hood latch looks good, at least what we can see there too. Other examples there. Here's a project for 5, a nice example, running and driving for 16, a nicer for 23. So then again, like I said, your project cars for 3, 4, 5,000, and then when you're done, they're more in the 16 to 22 range, at least here. Then again, just because they're here doesn't mean they're going to sell it for that much. But you get those Tigers, and there's triple your money. So here's a Tiger that's been modified for 89, and another 2 Tigers look about stock for 62 and 73. Then again, go price a Cobra. Go price a mid-60s Cobra, and you're going to spend $300,000 to $500,000 without race history. So here you go. Poor man's Cobra. It really is what they are, as people will often refer to these as. Looking at this project here, here's a green one again. I don't know, $1,200. If the person is just happy to move with them, I think you could easily part it out and get your money back. Putting them back together and getting them back on the road might be a bear, but it would be something fun, fun to try, fun to play with. With that being said, thank you much. Rusty Deals, Minnesota is Russ.